Hi everyone, this is part 3 of our semester project for ED312. We've called it Thanksgiving Dinner, and it is put together by myself, Megan Sims, Noemi Birkenfeld, Bernard Reuta, and Jessica Spears. So our problem that we came up with was we have a Jewish student named David, and he's been asked, along with his fellow classmates, to prepare a ham for the school Thanksgiving Day fundraiser. David practices a cultural tradition called kashrut with his family, which doesn't allow him to consume pork. So David doesn't know how to inform his teacher of this without making a scene. So that is our problem. The solution that we chose to come up with in part 2 was we had Miss Adams talk to David's parents, and they both came up with an idea to have David prepare a traditional Jewish dish called the borkas, I think I'm saying that right, that he can then share with the class as well as at the Thanksgiving Day fundraiser. So an additional insight to something that may happen with our problem is there might be a possible language barrier with David's parents. So we would hope that they would be willing to consider helping David in this situation, but we also have to consider that his parents might not speak very good English because they might speak Hebrew or because they immigrated from Israel, so they might not be able to communicate with the teacher, which would make it really hard for them to really understand what's going on. So a way we could solve this is the teacher might try and bring along a translator to help the parents understand the situation and figure out a way that they could solve the problem. Another insight or something to think about would be David's personality. We have to consider that David might not want to get up in front of the class and receive that attention for his beliefs. So we could solve this by having the teacher do the explaining, but having David pass out the Jewish treat. So he's still involved, but there's also not as much pressure on him to be the one to explain to the class why he doesn't want to make pork or can't eat the pork. So we came up with 2 other possible solutions onto how other than our original solution on how to handle this situation. The first one was the teacher suggests making a different meal with a different class. So our teacher, we named Miss Adams, says, Dave, I have talked to Miss Johnson and she's thrilled to have you in the decorating team. We don't want to push you on doing anything that would not make you feel confident, so would it be okay if you decorated with Miss Johnson's class for Thanksgiving? And then she would say, and I really think that we plan a special dinner in December where you and maybe another Muslim student can introduce your cuisine to the class. So would that be okay with you? And this gives the opportunity for David to accept or decline or see how comfortable he feels with that opportunity, but it also is a solution for him to not have to make the pork for the Thanksgiving dinner. Our second solution was David is partnered with another student who shares the same beliefs, so maybe Abdul, as we previously mentioned, is a Muslim student, and they contribute to the fundraiser in a different way. So the teacher says she's talked with your mom and she understands that now why he doesn't want to make the pork. She knows that she explains that we really need to do this project for the school because we want to support our school. So she presents the idea of maybe having him, David, and Abdul help set up the room for the dinner tonight. So that way they're still participating and still feel like they are contributing to helping with the school fundraiser, but they don't have to go against their beliefs in making any kind of dish that would go against those beliefs. So the class reading that we came up with is called White Teachers / Diverse Classrooms, Creating Inclusive Schools, Building on Students' Diversity, and Providing True Educational Equity. So this was found, I believe, in Lesson 5, and it talks a lot about the importance of relationship that the teachers have with their students. It specifically touches on white women who are teachers, but it applies to any race or gender. The few notes that were taken on this that relate to our situation are the relationships are essential for academic success, and everyone should become informed and create positive connections with all of their students. This is perfect for our situation because it deals with having forgotten specific details about the life of a student. So the teacher would have forgotten that maybe David was Jewish, or maybe it had been mentioned before and then she had forgotten it. If the teacher had a closer relationship to her students, she would have remembered that detail. And even if she hadn't known the specifics of what he could or couldn't do, she would have been able to get informed before making the assignments. So we don't really need to remember every detail, but we should maintain a good relationship with the students and be informed enough about different cultures that we can avoid situations like this one with Dave. Our second article that we found was our scholarly article, linking diversity and educational purpose, how diversity affects the classroom environment and student development. So this was a study that highlighted the importance of diverse student population as well as a diverse faculty. The diverse representation entails variety in gender, racial, ethnic, or religious groups. Diversity improved students' cognitive abilities in that they were more open to pluralistic thinking, and enhanced their social skills in that they became more tolerant and welcoming of others from a different background. So after studying around 4,250 students and about 16,000 faculty, it was found that faculty diversity was strongly correlated with the diversification of the curriculum and instructional techniques. Studying and interacting with someone from a different racial or ethnic background was also positively correlated with civic outcomes like being more accepting and more tolerant of different culture and beliefs. Job-related outcomes like leadership skills and ability to work cooperatively, and finally, learning outcomes like critical thinking and problem-solving skills. So, in short, students that are able to kind of help be more tolerant and welcome of others, and as well as faculty that is more tolerant and welcome, it correlates with stronger curriculum and helps students to learn better in their respective classrooms. A scripture that we found that correlates to our problem was in Acts 10, verse 34 through 36. And it says, "Then Peter opened his mouth and said, 'Of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. The word which God sent unto the children of Israel, preaching peace by Jesus Christ, for he is Lord of all.'" So we think this verse fits our scenario because God is no respecter of persons. Even if we belong to the bigger and more dominant culture where we live, we can still accept and welcome members of other smaller cultures and offer them a place in our culture. In our case, the teacher is responsive to a Jewish student and offers a possibility to participate in the Thanksgiving fundraising event by helping with the decoration, and also offers a possibility for the student to introduce his culture at another later event. So question number 1, what factors became most important in your team's decision? It was important for us to make sure that the situation ended well. It was important for us to find out the reason behind the student's reaction. We wanted to make sure that the student felt included and that we had properly taken care of the situation and not just given the student a 0 for not participating. Question number 2, is why did your team choose the solution they proposed in part 2? Our original lesson plan was to have all of the students participate in making a contribution to the school fundraiser by cooking a class ham. When the student did not participate or respond to the teacher when she inquired about what was going on, we chose the solution of talking with the parents. Since the student was not responding, we thought maybe there would be a family situation that we didn't know about. In order to be respectful of this, we chose talking with the parents and then allowing the student and their family to participate in a different way. This not only showed consideration for the student and his family's culture, but it also showed that as a teacher, we care about our students and want them to participate, even if it means changing things a little bit. We could have gone a different route and had the student simply join with a different class, but by having him remain in his class, we could avoid making him feel like an outcast, and instead of just having him hang out with the class, he actually got to participate and have fun sharing his life with the class. Question 3, what other responses might also be appropriate given particular diversity factors? So other responses that might be appropriate may include giving an alternative project, as in learning, there is no one-size-fits-all solution. Teachers may give way for options. Perhaps instead of insisting that there is just one project that everyone works on, the teacher can group the children into 2, one that is favored by the majority, the ham in our case, and another that showcases the favor of the minority. Question number 4. Consider how your team's diversity impacted the production of your presentation. Our team's diversity had a good impact on the production of our presentation. The 4 of us live in different countries, so we all had different firsthand experiences related to this topic. Though we are different, we are also united in the gospel of Jesus Christ. Therefore, we were all thinking similarly when we needed to find a solution to help with our imaginary student. So that was the last part of our semester project. It was fun getting to work with each of these people, and we hope that you learned as much as we did from doing this project. Thanks.